guys, come on.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Be the Media Huntington. Tonight is Tuesday, April 2nd. The 3rd. April 3rd, 2018. And there's still snow on the ground after Easter. Most kids and families are off this week for spring recess, but we're still here bringing you all of the latest things that you can dish and going ons and happenings around Huntington. So tonight I have with me Miss Dana
Hi, guys.
and Miss Lisa.
Hi, everyone.
And I am Jenny Lee. And what do you guys want to talk about first? There seems to be so much going on social media every day now. It's just so hard to keep up.
Where do you want to begin?
Let's go for the mall.
Well, you know, a lot can happen in a week, right?
A whole lot, obviously.
Whole lot. The Villadome Mega Mall. Villadome. They have in 1 week gotten over 3,000 signatures on a petition. And they have also, they have a Facebook page that within 1 week has a legitimate 1,000 people on it. And they are definitely organizing and getting the information out there about that. What have you guys heard about this?
Same. I've heard the same thing, but just that there's going to be meetings, and with that Facebook page and the signatures, I heard the same thing you did. That the numbers are just growing, and legitimate people are signing up. There's no fake profiles. It's just real people who are pissed off and have had enough. Because I have.
Yeah, I've heard. Somebody put it on their page too, or they tagged me. I'm not sure, so I signed the petition. In all honesty, I don't understand what they're trying to accomplish, because from my understanding, I went back and I did some research. There's been quite a few developments that people have signed petitions and the community expressed outrage, and it still went through. Right off the top of my head, I wasn't here for Avalon, but I did research that was at Avalon Bay as well. I was here for the seasons, and I did follow that one to and from, and it was a large outcry, and they had many people opposing it. And then they both still got, they still have, they started, well, Avalon is completed, and the seasons is being worked on. So I'm confused as to what exactly signing the petition is going to do, because in the past, it has shown that despite what the community wants, it's whatever the town or the builders want that go through.
Avalon had over 5,500 signatures, and Oak Tree had well over 5,000. They've got 3,000.
What's the magic number then? What do you need?
And that took, I got to say, both of those, Dana, you watched the whole Oak Tree seasons unfold. It took a while for them to get all those signatures, and they did go door to door, and it was there was election year going on. There was a lot going on. It's not easy to get signatures, is what I'm saying. It's probably a lot easier to get them online than to get them in real person.
No, I'm not questioning the validation of the signatures. I'm questioning if you do. So let's say you get 10,000 people. What is that going to do? Obviously there's people that don't want it, because you already have 3,000 signatures in 1 week. And I referenced Avalon Bay and the seasons because I know for a fact they had multiple people multiple petitions that were signed. So they had 5,000 or more that were legit, because I remember the seasons, because I went through it all the way, and it still was built. So what is the purpose of doing these petitions when it's clear that no matter what you do, or no matter what the town says, it still gets pushed through? So
Dana,
you have
did I hear right when I heard that? I was reading some posts, I guess, and comments. Was it true that the seasons had so many signatures and complaints that they were kind enough to the community and they downsized it?
They did come back, and it came back. They did come back and they redid some of it. But I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't know how recently you've gone. I don't know how recent, you've been down that area, but it is horrendous. just trying to get there. So now I see why the people didn't want that. So even though they still downsized it somewhat to appease the people, it wasn't downsized enough, in my opinion, because the traffic on there is bananas.
I agree.
Especially if you go on a Saturday.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Or on a, or on a what do you call it? The rush hour. It's bananas. So I was thinking about that when I was driving by, because I remember there was a big sign that they had Gene Cook and the people who weren't for it. And it was a big deal. I mean, you had a lot of people that didn't want it. So they appeased them somewhat, came back, retracted, and they came back with smaller numbers. But yet, all in still, you still have another complex that went up.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll give you an example. Avalon was 530 units when it started. It ended after, I think, negotiating twice at 379, but it also came with a TOD, a transit orientated district, which was a quarter-mile circle surrounding the train station. It was literally the downzoning of 5,000 residential homes, stating that all a developer had to do was accumulate a 10-acre parcel, and they were allowed to get the same level of density that Avalon was seeking, which was 14.5 units per acre, if I recall correctly. Oh no, that's the Maxtown code, which we seem to keep exceeding.
Yeah.
But while we're on Elwood, do you want me to? I came across this really neat video. Go ahead and give you guys an aerial shot. What do you think?
Sure.
I think you should. Yeah.
Okay, it's just a good time to go ahead and segue over to here. So that's the Elwood, the seasons at Elwood. In all different stages of development. All that sand is worth a lot of money too. They mine sand sometimes at some of these sites. There used to all be pastures with cows in it.
That is huge.
Oh, look at that. Hey, that's interesting. Do you see over here the precast?
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were supposed to have an on-site sewage treatment plant. I'll have to go back and check that out. You can see where the swimming pool's being built here.
Oh.
Yeah, I wonder what's up with the...
that circle thing behind
that's the precast.
No. Yeah, behind, in front of the pool, that hole.
Probably a jacuzzi.
Oh, okay, of course.
That's what it looks like. I could be wrong. Looks like an indoor pool too, right?
Oh, yeah. Or some kind of court, maybe? Sports court?
Something. Oh, I guess. Hopefully this guy does his drones more often. Check out the progress. It's huge. You don't even realize the scope driving in over here on Elwood Road.
That is ginormous.
Give him some credit right there.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I like that you did this, Kevin. Keep up the good work.
Wow.
Very awesome.
What an eyeful that is. An eye opener.
Wow. Uh-oh. Let me find out what's playing in the background here. Get rid of that screen. Oh, goodness.
Has he done a drone of the property that they want to destroy and put a mega mall that we don't need up?
No, you know what? We'll go back and we'll send him a request and see if he does, like the before and afters. Absolutely.
And what exactly is going to be, because I mean, I just can't, for some reason, this particular project, I can't wrap my hand around it. What exactly could they possibly be putting in this mall? Because let's say they put, what are we going to do with the Walt Whitman Mall?
I don't even know what to say. It's just stupid. You're going to pollute our waters. The cancer rates are going to soar. And don't anybody tell me that that's not going to happen, because they already are astronomical. I'm going to be a 15-year cancer survivor in June. And the only prerequisite that I have in my family history way back, way back, is here on Long Island and the water I'm drinking. That's it. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. We've never had breast cancer in my family, in any woman or man ever. It's horrible. It's horrible.
I just don't understand exactly, because I was reading into it, and they're saying they're gonna build a luxurious mall. So and immediately I just thought to myself, wasn't the Walt Whitman Mall just redesigned to be more top end, more luxurious?
It's not a
So
mall. It's the shops.
yeah,
Excuse
I
It's
me.
a
mean,
mega mall.
Shops.
But not only that, not everybody's against it. I think we have
yeah.
fair and balanced. I think that's so overrated these days, but let's try to
Because
be.
we'll bring tax money into Elwood. I mean, really?
Well, I've been trying to jump up and down on the blogs and tell people, if you don't get out and voice whether you want this or you don't want this, just know that there are a few people running around claiming to speak for you, claiming to be the voice of the people for the township of Huntington in several different ways. What did I do with that? Did I put that on our page earlier or somewhere else? Oh, here we go.
You did.
I did. And okay, good. We have no. Here. I'll take you there. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. This is from now. I woke up and this morning, and a whole bunch of old posts
Yeah.
been retrieved. It was just really, really weird. And this was one of them. So I'm not sure why it was brought to the top, but I appreciate that it was. But please review this video at 20. So it's the planning board meeting from August 31st, 2016 is what's being referenced here. And Preserving Elwood Now is Jim Cameron. There's nobody else running the page. They don't have open meetings that we know of. It's one guy. At 2311, in one of the trustees of the planning board requests the planning department to look into the idea of multi-use center instead of 100% retail center. Traffic is the biggest concern based on community. This will break up the timing of traffic. This trustee is also requesting similarities to the previous proposal. In case you don't recall, can we stop? Sorry. In case you don't recall, the previous proposal it called for, this was 2001 to 2004, they were calling it Orchard Park, a downtown village center, 35 acres, which is less. I think it's up to 55 now, right?
Mm.
Condominiums and retail center, 11 retail and office buildings, a movie theater, which has got to be outdated now, 22 apartment buildings.
What?
360 to 290 apartments, 2 to 3 story parking garages, maximum build out and minimum build out. 719 is the max, 575,000 is the minimum. If the planning and town boards do not approve the current proposal of 100% retail office center, we will surely see something similar to above. And so these are the groups that have been supporting it. Join the Elwood Taxpayers Huntington Matters Greater Huntington Civic Group in support of the current proposal on Wednesday night, and this was back then. Now let's break that down. Again. Elwood Taxpayers, Huntington Matters, and Greater Huntington Civic Group. Can anybody name for me which one of these has regular meetings with regular minutes? And can actually act and function as a voice for the people?
No, I can't.
Well, I know you're not asking me because we already know that answer.
So, I mean, this is the illusion of support that they're planting now. So if people really don't want this, they have to know that these groups are out there saying they want it. They want this. They have to be aware of that. And
is that why those posts are being brought to the top? Because all the ones that are being brought to the top,
I don't know. I got
the ones that are in favor.
I don't check it every day. Today I happen to, because karma happens to me frequently. And it was just karma that I signed on there today to check it. And I was like, what is going on with all these posts here? And they're all 2 years old and being brought up now. And I couldn't really figure it out. And I'm not a member of the page, so I didn't, Oh, back to that again, huh? So, yeah, civic groups. Now, we all know who runs Huntington Matters and who pretends to run Huntington Matters, but they're not really even a community group. They have a community Facebook forum, but it's no different than any other Facebook page where everybody fights with each other. So that's not a civic group. Just the only real one we've seen recently is the South Huntington Station Civic Group. In fact, don't they have a meeting coming up soon? Do you want to update everybody?
Yes. Sam Bifoco will have his next meeting at the South Huntington Public Library April 18th. It's a Wednesday night. It's their monthly meeting. They're going to have one once a month. So that'll be at 7 o'clock at the South Huntington Public Library.
I just,
Oh, and I'm sorry, Dana. And I believe that Sam put a post out that one of the guest speakers will be Inspector Hatton from the Suffolk County Police Department.
Yes, I saw that too.
That's the one I saw. That's all I know.
Here's this is the conversations that I end up having when people say, you always talk about coming out and doing X, Y, and Z. And then when we come out, we sign petitions, we go to meetings, and we still don't get what we want. What is the purpose of me now doing it all over again? Because let's be honest, we've all been involved in things that we don't want to see happen. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of planning, and you have to be dedicated.
Energy.
And yes, a lot of energy. Mm-hmm. So we would like people to come out, right? We want people to sign these petitions. We want people to stand up for themselves. But when they do it, it seems like it doesn't matter because the other thing gets done anyway. So it's kind of like people are like, what is the purpose of me doing all these things? Because even when I do them and I do them properly, it's still not being done in the community's advantage. And I'm really sick of the fact that these civic groups come in and they say, we represent X, Y, and Z. We speak for the people when you don't even speak to the people. So if you don't speak to the people, how can you be speaking for the people? Because the last time I checked, when you have a civic engagement, you want to have the people of that community involved. And then you hear what people saying. There's usually a majority, either yay or nay. And then you go off by that. But for the people, the civic groups that you stated, not only don't I see them at town hall meetings with the exception of one person, and I don't know what he really does because he seems to be all over the place. What do you do with that? These people are not, how could you speak and you don't even go to these places and we don't see you? So it's kind of like, what do we do to get people more interested, I guess? I don't know, because we don't need another mall. I don't care if it's mega. I don't care if it's luxurious. I don't care what it is. We definitely don't need more apartments because the last show we did looking for rentals, $2,500 for a 1-bedroom, you might as well buy a house. And everyone is talking about millennials this and millennials that, these kids coming out of college. My son will be out of college and he's pre-med, and my daughter will be out of college and she's a psych major. They're not trying to do that. And then I have my niece and my niece is a biochemist and her husband is a lawyer. They would not even think of moving over here because of the cost of living. Why would they pay $2,500 for a 1-bedroom and you're not next to anything.
When you can own a house in Huntington Station.
Exactly.
$2,500, you can pretty much juggle whatever you want to do when it comes to housing, because they both have, they have decent credit, they have good credit, and they could do whatever they want to do. So it's not really appealing to them.
It's just ridiculous.
And that's just the rent. So how are you eating? How are you paying your electricity? How are you paying your utilities? How are you having travel money? And because even if you have a car, you still got to have gas. If you're taking public transportation, you still got to buy a ticket, and just basic necessities. I mean, so it always annoys me.
Definitely outrageously high here. There's no data. It's crazy.
It is ridiculous.
It's insane how much money it is.
It is ridiculous.
Gas prices are going up. Did you notice the gas prices?
Everything is increasing. Everything is increasing, and it seems like, the town is just being run by a selective group of people, and as long as it fits that particular group, then that's what we have to deal with. Because I would say when I first moved here, we had farms we still had farms.
What's
now
that?
How many farms do we have? Yeah, how many farms do we have now?
I know.
I don't want it, 22 buildings. What? I don't want to. I might as well go live in the city for that.
Who was over by me on Pulaski Road that it was billed as the last farm stand? Kerber's.
Oh, yeah, right.
Kerber's on Pulaski. The guy from Manhattan took it over and he redid it. And now they put all those houses on the other side of it. Now he's a farm stand. Like, how do you even do that to this guy who started his business? And now, no, we need to build multi-million-dollar houses. And it's crazy because if you go to this side of the road, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, Larry.
You're the Huntington School District.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go right on the other side of Kerber's, it's the Cold Spring Harbor. So it's a higher tax bracket over there. So it's bigger property. They're paying bigger money. Of course, they're not going to say no to putting that there. But that was the last farm stand on Pulaski Road. What'd you do?
To me, that's just
so much money into that too. It's crazy. He's been in all those magazines with it.
That's sad. That's
Martha
really
Stewart.
sad.
Yeah, he was. Yes.
That's really sad. Yes. Because it shows us that, it doesn't matter what we say as the people, really. I mean, let's be honest, because if it's something that benefits the town or the people who run the town and they think it benefits, they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do it. So to me, it's like, I don't know what to say to people when they feel like they feel stuck, because in reality, what actually gets done?
Not much. Yeah, that's true.
But why I don't understand why people are so focused on building and building and building when they're not really talking about the environment. They're not talking about the water. They're not talking about the pollution from more cars and
because it's not an interest to them. It's not an interest. It's what they talk about, the building and building in hopes that because the economy is doing better, so they want to do building and building in hopes to bring in revenue. The quality of life is not their concern, and that's clear.
Right.
And they don't really care about how many cars, because in their mind, the more cars, the more people will spend, the more
But it's a
more cars.
In my opinion,
it's sales tax revenue.
It's going to take me an hour to get there. Screw you! I'm going to go shop on Amazon.
And
that's
another thing. Why do I want to take an hour to get there? It takes me 20 minutes today. It took me 20 minutes on a Tuesday at 1:15 in the afternoon to get from Beverly Road east. I went east on Jericho to Indian Head Road. It took me 20 minutes to just go from there to there, A to B. That is ridiculous. Now, if there's a mega mall with apartments and parking garages and whatever crap there's going to be, how long is it going to take me to get to Indian Head Road? 40 minutes? 50 minutes? Come on, that's pathetic. That's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to your mall. I'm going to Amazon because I don't want to sit in traffic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, it is. It's crazy. And if you think about it, now that you mentioned it, if you go on Jericho Turnpike right before school starts, when all the buses go, it could easily take you 30 to 40 minutes, at least from where we live, to get to Stimson. Because I remember before I used to be able to fly there, but now it's not so much. And especially in the evening when it's rush hour traffic, oh my
God.
goodness. You will sit there. If you don't know the back streets, you will sit there for a few minutes. And it will be so frustrating because you're just trying to go from point A to point B.
Yep.
You know, and it's like, you have a point. Let's shop on Amazon because I don't feel like sitting in traffic. I hate traffic.
So do I. And how long when's the last time I went to the village to park my car for free and get out and walk around? I don't even know. I can't even tell you it's been that long because I don't want to deal with the traffic. And I don't want to fight for a parking spot and pay for it.
Yeah, parking is costly as well. And I don't understand, why do I have to pay for parking and I live here? I never got that. I mean, I live here. Why do I need to pay for parking? That's just crazy to me. But, you know, I guess
you need more of your money. I don't know why. I mean, I'm like losing wheels driving around this town on my car.
It's true. No, it's true.
And you know what? They're all waiting for like, the infrastructure plan. Why do you need an infrastructure plan to pay for something that should already be paid for in our taxes? They need to wait for more money because they already spent that other money on other things. I know that's not what we were budgeted for, but geez.
And I don't know what the new administration is doing in regards to the building, but I do recall that was one of their biggest things, no more building.
Yeah.
I wish they would. You know how Chad's been doing all those videos? Mm-hmm. I wish instead of making us get all riled up and have to make signs and do all the petitions, just come out and let us know where you stand before you get everybody worked up over it, or at least, you know, something.
Well, well, in regards to that, he's not going to do that because he's a supervisor, so he has to make. I'm sure.
I know.
Supervise what's going on around there. So supervise it. Go look around.
He can't come out and just say I'm for this, and you know, it has to be calculated. And I'm sure with his, you know, his friend as a new attorney, he's going to make sure everything is a calculated move, so he can't be pinned down to anything. Yeah. That's just how politics goes. You know, you can't. That's just how it is. But if you ran your platform on not hiring family members and friends, that wasn't honored. You ran your platform on not, you know, okaying new housing and building. That's clearly not being done if we were talking about building a mall. So already it hasn't even been a year, and two of the things that you proposed are you're going back on what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Who's holding them accountable?
Who can hold them accountable? What do we do?
Well, it doesn't matter. Like you pointed out, you could sign all the petitions you want.
Exactly.
It's government. All we did was change one wing on the same bird.
I would agree with that at this point in time. And you know, it's not to trash, you know, people always say, oh, you guys, you know, you're always bashing the current administration. There's no favorites on this particular show. Each one of us have our own viewpoint on every political issue. But one thing that we all do is we don't care who you are. If you're doing something that you said you were not going to do, we're going to call you on it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter if it's assemblyman, council person, town supervisor, highway department. If you're doing something that you said you wouldn't do and you do it, we will call you on it. So it's no favoritisms here. And let's be honest, when you ran for public office, you knew that you would be scrutinized. You knew that. So that's, you know, chalk it up with your nice salaries that you sit on, chalk it up to the game and call it, you know, so stop with all that. Oh, we bash. We don't do that. We don't bash anyone. We let you know what's going on. You may not like it, but it is what it is.
Just because you tell the truth, it doesn't mean that you're bashing anyone. And
we used to bash Susan, but she's not on the town board anymore, and I don't have to see her shoes, so it's out. Like a party with her.
Those stilettos in the sand, so sexy.
Oh, crazy! You're so crazy.
Started tucking like that. Oh my god!
I miss her. I do not miss her.
Y'all are too much.
When I put my sunscreen on this year, I'm going to think about her. Oh my
Dina,
God.
I've been looking for the last like 5 minutes over here trying to look for that post you wanted me to highlight. I'm still looking, just so you know.
Okay.
I am still looking for you.
Okay. Okay.
I think the problem is I post way too much. Even try to my own post.
No, I mean you just keep people involved. It's no such thing as posting too much, especially if the information is, relevant and we need it.
Yeah.
It's no such thing as posting. You post what's important.
And some things that aren't, some things that are stupid.
Well,
okay.
you may think it's stupid, but to somebody else,
laugh.
to another person, that might be the world. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I always read it. I always read everything that's going on, though. That's just because I'm nosy, though. I like to see what's going on.
How long ago was the post of the week?
It was fairly recent. I want to say Monday. Sometime yesterday
I'm up to
evening.
April 1st, and I still don't have it. And I searched under your name.
It was
after we were skating.
I think it was yesterday. Yesterday would have been the 2nd.
It definitely was yesterday when I read that. It was definitely yesterday, the post of the week.
Yes, it was yesterday.
I'll keep trying to find it. Oh my goodness. So
it was yesterday.
We do have a special election coming up. I think Lisa's got all the great details on that, including the next Meet the Candidates night, if you want to take that over, Lisa.
Meet the Candidate night, April 11th. League of Women Voters, 7 o'clock, South Huntington Public Library. Should be interesting. And then that leads right into the special election on the 24th between Janet and Steve. April 24th.
Now, I noticed that Janet has a tremendous amount of signs out. And it was also brought to the attention of people. It was some group, I'm not sure which one it was, but they were putting signs on people's property without getting permission. And I see her signs. Yeah, it was. I'm not sure if it was Matters or Concerned.
Oh,
I'm not sure which one it was, but they were talking about the fact that all these signs were everywhere. But if you drive around, especially when you go into the station and you go through the back, you'll see her sign everywhere. Right?
Yeah, they are everywhere.
So I bet you, though.
If someone didn't want them there, don't you think they would have taken them down? Or thrown them in the road, or flipped them over?
Not necessarily. Some people are not as conscious when it comes to politics like you, I, or Jenny may be. Some people are just like, oh, they put that sign. They don't even know what it's for. But this is my problem. And then this is where I have to blame the people, though. So I'm always getting on, everybody else. This is where I have to blame the people. Now, Janet has put her signs everywhere in Huntington Station. I've yet to see Stern's sign. I don't know what his camp is doing at this point in time. Go into one of those stores and ask the people inside who Janet is and count how many people could tell you who she is, what she's running for, what could she do for the station. And I almost want to say, I guarantee if you pick 10 stores, I would say 9 of them will not know who she is, but has her sign in their door or on their property. So whose fault is that? She's using, she's playing the game that she wants to. If she's not supposed to put it there, well, she doesn't do it herself. Let me stop saying she. Her camp is using free publicity. If they don't correct it, then whose fault is that? But, I saw.
She got a phone call, didn't she?
Sorry. Yes. Again.
Every time you get a phone call, I get that.
Every time. I'm like, stop. If the people don't stay on top, we saw that with the last election. If people don't stay on top of it and you allow these people to just put things in there, then it's your fault. It's the people's fault. Like if you don't know what they're doing or who they stand for, don't put their sign up.
If you don't have control of your own campaign, it's not yours, it's the party's.
And you need to be able, but the people also, and what bothers me the most is, and it's sad, and it's unfortunate, people go by name recognition. So if they even bother to go to vote, I remember seeing this lady Janet's name. I don't know who Stern is. I've seen her. She's in the community, so she must be good. Let me check her. No, that's not how it works. But a lot of people will do that. So the people need to learn that this is something that, you need to take control over. If they want to use your property, or the businesses, if they want to put something in their door, then you need to let them know. I need to know who you are.
I don't recommend businesses doing that. I support everybody's First Amendment right, including the businesses. I just don't recommend that they do, because our country's so divided over politics in general. And this is a small town, and they get really vicious over their politics, and they won't even say nothing to you. They just won't. They will not, for the rest of your life, will not frequent your establishment. I have a couple that I remember. I was like, oh no, they put a sign up for Susan. Yeah, can't ever shop there again. I've done that myself, and I know that there's other people who are like, the sign wars, I called it. It's sign season. Oh, they're up, they're down, and they're up. They put this one and they put it right on the ground. But when the businesses get involved, they're messing with their bottom line. It's not. I get you want to support your candidate, but you got to put that lawn sign at home, not on business.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's just my recommendation. I'm not telling anybody what to do. They're going to do what they want to do, but that's some solid advice.
Yeah, because people will look at that, like you just said. Somebody put up Susan. You're like, used to like you, but now, not sure about that. If I want to spend my money with you,
down pizza. No, I mentioned that my husband said I had to try them this week. They deliver all the way up here, he said.
Really? Yeah,
so I'm going to give them a shot. But it's not my pizzeria that I have an issue with. It was a different restaurant. But I'm not alone in that. What I'm saying is I'm willing to put my own prejudices out there to say, see, people have prejudicial views about certain things, to make people see that, yes, maybe I have the tendency to do that as well. So people tend to admit it is, if that's even a fault, but they're more apt to admit their own faults when somebody else says, yes, and I did that too. I was a scumbag.
Yeah, you can hope for that. Some people are, some people just rather just not discuss it, address it, nothing, and just do things quietly.
That's what I mean. Like they won't even go inside and say, I'm not going to frequent your establishment anymore. They'll just quietly drive by and go somewhere else. And
yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah. So I can't find the post.
You really can't?
I think it's gone.
We have a new segment. It's called the Social Media Post of the Week. Post of the week, post of the week, post of the week, post of the week. And Lisa's gonna tell it. So every time we get a really good post of the week, I guess we wanted to add in a social media segment, but we haven't been as regimented as we had wanted to be. But one came up this week.
Yeah.
And you're going to
I cannot find anywhere.
I can't.
Let me see if I'm going to look and see if I can see it, because I remember. Yes, here it is. It's the first one I pull up too. It was done yesterday.
All right, you have to read that.
It says it was done by Adam Swickle. And it says, do I have any friends in common with this scumbag Michael Rassantini of Huntington, New York? He told my daughter he had an apartment for her, convinced her to give him $1,600 in cash, pretending, he put in quotation marks, parentheses, pretending to be a licensed real estate broker, then disappeared and warned her to not call or try to contact him again. And again, this was done like about, I want to say 8:08 yesterday PM.
Right.
That's when I had that one in, but I'm not sure where exactly it came in from, because I don't have that part.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it was on
find that part at all.
It's crazy. So I just looked up this guy's social media account that you just brought. is this the same guy? It's gotta be, right?
What's his
This
name?
guy, Adam Swickle?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a Parkland father.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm just kind of going through this. Look, Team Meadow, and he seems to do like little videos like we do. Look at this.
Mm. Well, it says he's located in Florida. So.
Yeah, it does. Look, here's another one. Ban the assault rifles now. So he's on that end of the debate. Look, another one. So this guy's all over social media. But to be fair, because I don't ever want to say that we weren't fair and somewhat balanced. This came up today.
It sounded like he made a rebuttal against that allegation.
Like it, he didn't really, but he did.
Yeah.
What does it say?
That's what
So the moment I realized just how brave I am was the moment I decided to run for public office. For those of you who are brave enough to get out there and stand up for what you believe in, be sure to have thick skin and keep your head up. No one can say anything or make any great lie that can take away from your truth. Stand on your truth and show them all, but most importantly, show yourself. Once you've taken a public stand, don't back down. Anything less than rock hard stance will let your enemies nibble you to death. And then somebody comes in. I really think people should research prior to posting. I've seen her name a lot on Citizens, Ariana Amato.
Oh, yeah.
I really think people should research prior to posting stories that can ruin a person's reputation, and even then think it through before they post it. And Mike Raspentini, we now live in a world where people will believe anything they read or see in social media. Michael, frightening. Proud of you. What's going on? Have a feeling you're just getting warmed up. What are you running for? So some people aren't even sure what this is.
And
he doesn't
be accused of stuff, but come out and perhaps defend yourself, because
he doesn't do that.
When you don't come out and defend yourself, then yeah, you kind of tend to believe what you're reading, because
the same thing happened with the election.
I know,
right? And he didn't rebut it then, and
So then what do you believe? You tend to believe the other side because you say nothing about it.
Right. And he wants everybody else to defend him, but he's not giving anybody the other side of it, the truth of it, to even have a rebuttal to it. So like, what do you even say about that?
So, but this is my thing. We're all parents. All three of us are parents. If someone took $1,600 from my kid, yeah, I'm going to go public with it, especially if you ran for office.
Yep.
I don't see a father with a wide open page like that making a post so vivid that it's not true. I just don't, unless he's a real wackadoodle, and then people more than likely would have said, he's known for these stunts. He didn't come off, crazy. He just wanted to know how he could basically find him, because obviously he's a dad, and somebody took advantage of his daughter. I cannot fault him for that. And with Michael Raspentini, he hasn't said anything about anything. There's no accountability. There's nothing. And when you see him in public, I know you two are familiar with him, or you're associates of him. If you even come across as someone who just simply disagrees with him, he won't look you in the eye. So to me, that lets me know that you're a shady, you have some shady business going on. I'm sorry. That's just how I think about all people. But again, I don't think a father, and he didn't, it's not like he hid his social media page. He went on a well-known site and he said, this is what happened. The proper thing would have been for Mr. Raspentini to go in there and say, even this is a private matter. Can we discuss this? Or just flat out say, you really shouldn't post these things. We could talk about this in private. That's not exactly what happened. There's so many avenues he could have addressed, but he did nothing. But he did nothing during the election either. True. So, I mean, it's like...
That was a huge disappointment. I think you remember that with me. It was a huge disappointment for me.
And there were some huge accusations. You should have said something about those huge allegations instead of that post yesterday that's, people are going to accuse you. Well, yeah, you're being accused. So speak about it. Is it true or is it not true? What's the deal, dude?
Oh, not for nothing, but you saw the minute I was accused of having a Klan party at my house. I came right out swinging about that. No way. You do. I will never allow other people to define me as a human being ever with any.
And that was sad. That was sad because they didn't even have any proof to say that was. I mean, it was nothing. I just, again, that always.
But no, I understand. Like, there should be some sort of natural reaction, and the reaction isn't to wait and not say anything. And if it was the only incident, I would say, well, maybe he's embarrassed. And I'm still confused about how we got a Parkland parent in here and a kid in Florida, New York, renting. But whatever. It's not for me to explain the story, and that's the pattern. Is the other side of the story is not being represented. So what are we left to believe?
What she put. And then that's not uncommon. The parent lives, look at you, your son lives in another state, you live in another state. My children right now are going to college in other states and I'm here. So I may conduct business from here, but they have, business elsewhere. Yeah. But again, I just can't see a father coming out on a page that is well known, making that statement and it not being true, or have some truth to it.
Where was that originally posted? Because I really had a hard time finding. I know I tagged you, but it didn't show.
Yeah, I can't remember because it's. Oh wait, wasn't it? Oh, hold on.
But she tagged both of us, so you should be. I the little witch that I can be. I photocopied it, so that's how I knew where it was. I took a picture of it. You know how things like to disappear.
But I gotta tell you, it's not on this guy's page anymore. I was just there. Scrolling.
I don't know if he put it on his page
or somewhere else. You're right.
I think he put it in one of those open forums. That's what I think he did.
Yeah, that's why I was saying maybe it was on you're from Huntington when or
it was something. It was an open forum.
There's so many Facebook pages.
I know. Oh my goodness.
It's been watered down so much with everything.
And now if someone makes a Facebook page and wants to dedicate it to the old times and historical stuff. Now every single page has just been infiltrated by every other Facebook page. So if you post something that's going on at a whatever, you got to post it on every page. Why? We know where to go if we want to find out what's happening. You don't have to infect like every freaking page that has to do with our town. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. I'm not talking about one.
June does that. She does that with her Huntington Matters. She posts it on the main one.
Then I'm talking about everybody.
Into every group that you can find. And it's like, you already have a fan page. Everybody who wants to read this on your fan page is already signed up with you. And all the people that are in these groups are already either ignoring you or already on your fan page. So you're not gaining anything but pissing more people off by notifications.
And what about the wackadoodle that keeps posting belligerently on the Citizens for Huntington Village or whatever? That was supposed to be all about the history and everybody was enjoying it and kind of flocking over there because there was no fighting over there. It was just the old times, right? Yeah. And now that one wackadoodle, that we won't mention.
I want to know who it is.
he got kicked off of Huntington Matters because he's a wackadoodle, and now he just posts all his garbage that really no one's interested in on that page.
Loud on now, yeah.
And that page used to be really good. I love that page because it had so much good information on it.
I know, and now that one is just allowed to spew his whatever. It's ridiculous.
It's a hard question. It's funny. The funny thing about the politics in this town, the hardcore people, they're going to go all through September. The more moderate people, they're going to have a little bit more fun this summer. They're going to take a little bit of a step back. But no one will be really paying attention until the kids go back to school. So all the noise that the people are creating on all these pages, all they're doing is making themselves into white noise. Remember how I said you tend up, when you see that June from Huntington Matters has posted here, 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 and here, and here, and here. Now, when you see her notifications, you scroll past them because it's something that is being put everywhere, and it's like spam. sandwiches for breakfast, lunch, and dinner all the time. So I think she's not the only one. She's just the most recent one. Her other person, who I don't think does really anything for Huntington Matters, but Mary Beth used to do that too, to where people started blocking her, not because they didn't like her, not because they hated her, not for any other reason, except she was always posting everywhere all the time, and the notifications became too much. I know my husband, when we were friendly, she goes, "Why did your husband unfriend me?" And I was like, "Because you post so much." He was sick of getting notifications. It wasn't a personal issue.
What's it, 20 times a day?
Notification issue. So now Mary Beth doesn't do that anymore, but now June is, and she doesn't realize that she's now suffering from the same type of white noise. You become white noise.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's all I have to say about that.
I wish they would leave some of these pages alone, though. You're right. Citizens, I loved that page before, but it's been inundated. They all have politics. I run Parents of Huntington. I don't even want to post on there anymore. I'm so sick of everybody fighting. So I step back, and I totally
don't get involved.
I tune it out. I can't bother. Sometimes I'll go in, I'll give somebody a laughy face, a love, or a like. But other than that, I'm like, I can't be bothered. Are you kidding? Life is too short, and we're adults, and we're behaving worse than these kids who eat Tide Pods and they're not snorting condoms.
What I saw that today, and I said, "This world."
I couldn't even watch the video without gagging, like because they snort it up and it goes through the nasal tube, and then
that's disgusting. That's disgusting. That's
so
disgusting.
Bad.
I hope they're not used.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh well, can I just make a comment, since we just mentioned something so disgusting and vile? Can I mention the Can I mention the dirty panty sniffer?
Oh my God, that was so crazy.
The dirty panty sniffer. No, it's the dirty panty sniffer.
That was crazy.
My God. That is mental illness at first, ruling on people's lives, on other people's lives. And he's collecting his paycheck while he is sitting his perverted ass at home collecting our taxpayer dollars to pay him his salary. While he has more time at home to sneak into his neighbors' houses and sniff their dirty underwear. And
did you ever watch Orange is the New Black? I think it was like season 4 or season 5. She started selling prison underwear, used panties, and made a business out of it. So there is a market for it. I would just like to say, because it actually made it onto a Netflix show called Orange is the New Black.
And he would have to, even though what he did was, of course, crazy and it's disgusting, but if he has an addiction, they cannot just, dismiss him, because an addiction is an addiction, whether it's to alcohol, whether it's to drugs, dirty panties. They have to give him treatment for it. They can't just say, "You're fired," or "We're not going to pay you." It's just like any other addiction, because so they have to follow protocol. That's number one.
How about you're fired, you pervert? You're fired.
No, because then they would have
ruling on people. So he's an addict. He's sick. He's mentally ill, and he's sitting on a bench ruling over people's lives.
Well,
smelling dirty panties is
but he
not.
Broke into, that was breaking an entry to get the smelly panties, then denied all the smelly panties he had
on him. And he said, "Oh, no.
Property.
These aren't from the robbery from 5 minutes ago. These are from before."
So he has a problem, but in America, in the United, you cannot fault someone for being an addict, whether he's a judge. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's a judge.
A judge should not be mentally ill. A judge is supposed to be as pure as snow, not mentally ill.
I agree, but unfortunately, we have laws that protect people like that. We would have to treat it like we would treat any other addiction. That's just like to say, if somebody has an alcohol problem or somebody's addicted to heroin or cocaine. We
Yeah,
have
and
to
if they
treat
show
the
up drunk,
addiction.
you have the right to fire that person.
No, you cannot fire the person. You
Where
have to
is
give
this
them
written
treatment
as an
first.
addiction? I want to see this written
Girl,
as
let me tell you something.
false
Go
addiction.
into that.
Come on.
Go into those. What is that? The DSMV. They have a ton of addictions. A ton. Go to any psychologist website. They will tell you there is a ton of addictions, but they have to give him the proper treatment. In the end, you really shouldn't be breaking into people's houses to get dirty drawers.
And in the meantime, he collects his $150,000 paycheck to not work, have more time at home to break into his neighbors' houses and sniff their stuff.
That's gross. I don't know what's wrong with him.
And the taxpayers don't find a problem with that? There's no outrage?
Man, times are
Where
hard.
are the protests with the panties on a stick?
We can have mine for $1,000. How about
Dirty
that?
panty rally, dirty panty rally.
I'm gonna make some money off this.
Y'all are so silly.
I'll put them in a Ziploc for you. I mean, $1,000, right? Girls got money.
Oh.
Come and rally. Leave your pink hats at home.
I'm too old for the poll anymore.
I can't.
Put our dirty panties on our head.
I
How do you like this for a hat?
1,500.
That's so gross.
Gross. All right, we're running out of time. I just wanted to give everyone a life hack before we go, besides wash your underwear, wear clean ones, yada, yada, yada.
Lock up your underwear and it's safe.
Suffolk County is the only one selling nickel bags. You don't have to. You can go to, all right, so I mapped it. I accidentally ended up at Stop and Shop in Woodbury on Jericho Turnpike, 3.4 miles. And I'm going, oh, I forgot my bags because I was doing something else. And she goes, oh, it's okay, sweetheart. You're in Nassau County.
It's true.
You don't have to do a nickel bag. And I was like, oh my God, I'm coming here every time I need to refill my dog poop bags. This is great. So even if you go once a month and you need to load up on your bags for what, like I use them for garbage bags or whatever, there's still an option next door for a little bit in Nassau County. So
Nassau County doesn't care about the environment, just Suffolk County.
No, come on, it's not about the environment.
Oh, come on. What are you talking about? Please.
All right, ladies. Well, we've reached our 9 o'clock mark.
That was fast.
It usually goes fast when we're having a good time. My God. I hope I don't
dirty panties. Time flies.
Ooh. I was in a state of shock when I heard. I was in the car with my mother, and my mother was like, "What? What is he doing?" I was like, "Nothing, Ma. Nothing."
I'm ready to capitalize. I
was like,
think about it, one a day.
Next time you have to go before a judge, ask for their stipend now.
$7,000 a week, Dana, if he's an addict.
That's disgusting. I don't know. I have to be.
Lisa just said he makes the coin. Like it's $150,000 a year. So
he's collecting at home. He's collecting at home while he's sniffing and being all happy with his dirty underwear.
We would have the dirty pants.
He's dirty with children.
That's disgusting.
Oh boy! I made this one
my God.
I'll pass on that one.
How he crawls around in his family's laundry basket.
Yikes!
Well, everyone, we hope everyone enjoyed this evening's Huntington View. I'm taking all of my addresses off of any petitions I may have recently signed. And we hope that we will see everyone next week. And have a good evening, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Everybody.
Oh, boy.